All right, ladies and gentlemen, today we are going to be talking about what is by far the number one ranking factor on Google. And if you're not doing this, if you're not getting this, there's a good chance that this is the reason why you are not ranking as high as you want. But there have also been some news developments that we're going to be getting into. And I'm also going to be making sure you know how to do this ranking factor correctly. And I'm also going to be giving you some alternatives if you would like to try to bypass this ranking factor and do things in a different way. So definitely be sure to watch until the end. All right, let's get into it. So I'm Chris Giges, and you might know me from my link building agency over at sterlingsalot.co or our Facebook group or our other YouTube channel, or maybe you've seen me around on some SEO podcasts or at some SEO conferences, but you can go to my website for more information on me. So the number one ranking factor on Google, in my very honest opinion, in my history of doing 10 years of SEO, is backlinks. Of course, like I just mentioned, I do have a backlink agency over here at sterlingsalot.co, but even then, I really don't wish this was the case. I think Google actually has a backlink authority problem. The fact that they weight backlinks so heavily is not good for SEO. It's not good for Google search results. It's not good for users. So I wish I could say that I just love this because it's good for business, but I actually don't. One quick caveat though, for backlinks to be the strongest ranking factor, you have to make sure that you're doing the beginner SEO stuff correctly. So this is assuming that you know how to do beginner SEO. This includes stuff like search intent, doing proper keyword research, targeting keywords correctly with your on-page SEO, covering the topic fully, making sure your website is indexed. This is all very easy stuff to do. If you don't know how to do this stuff, you should really focus on this stuff first because it's necessary. But really, everyone who's doing SEO for any amount of time knows how to do this stuff very well. And then backlinks become the decider. They become the biggest ranking factor by far after that. So now let's get some proof for what I'm saying here. First of all, I want to go into an article that is by this guy, Lars Lorgan over here. I'm sorry if I'm saying your name wrong, Lars. And the article is basically talking about how Forbes is really just a Parasite SEO play. If you don't know what Parasite SEO is, it's essentially when you post content on very high authority websites that have very strong backlink authority, and things rank pretty much instantly, and you can rank for pretty much anything because Google just favors backlink authority so heavily. Here we are in Ahrefs, so you can see Forbes is pretty much at all-time highs at about 64 million monthly traffic. And going into the organic keywords, let's go ahead and look for some kind of affiliate keywords that they're ranking for. Best credit cards, best stocks to buy now, best mattress, best checking accounts, best CBD gummies, best headphones, best fantasy books. Best walking shoes for women, best home printer, best crypto exchange. I won't waste any more of your time. You can see that these guys literally rank for everything. Why is that? Is that because their content is so good? Is that because their subject matters on everything in the world? And the answer is no. The answer is because they have a very high domain authority of 94. They have more backlinks than pretty much anyone on the entire internet, so they can post content about whatever they want and Google will let them rank for it, at least right now. There have been some small changes to this, which we're going to cover here in a bit, some kind of promising developments, which I'm actually glad to see. But yeah, we'll cover that in a minute. But back to this article real quick. They're talking about how it's not actually Forbes that are posting most of the content on their website. It's another entity entirely, and they call themselves Forbes Marketplace. It's a separate company. And this is a classic example of what's called site reputation abuse. We're here on Google's website right now, and this is explaining why site reputation abuse is against their guidelines and how they shouldn't be allowing this. And if they catch you doing this, how they could just demote your entire website and you could lose all of your rankings. But this is exactly what Forbes is doing, and they haven't done anything yet. But now it looks like it's out all in the open, so we don't know what they're really going to do. We'll see if they penalize Forbes or not. I'm not really holding my breath, though. From nothing to over 20 million search visits per month in less than 4 years, /home improvement, Forbes.com/health, Forbes.com/advisor. It's about twice the size of NerdWallet, but it took NerdWallet 15 years to get where they are. So Forbes doubled their size in a third of the time. Then they go in to talk a lot about the industries that they're in and the money that they're making, which is obviously a lot. I think they're saying 9 figures a year, which is a lot of money, of course. And they talk about a bunch of other stuff, but I'll let you go ahead and read the article yourself because it's not really the main point of this video. It's just a very good illustration of why domain authority is so powerful, why backlinks are so powerful. Another funny example I saw recently was when you search for this keyword, best new online casino. I think the one that was actually ranking number 1 got taken offline. I think they got too much media attention from it because it was just some other random site that knew nothing about casino or gambling. It was another Parasite SEO play. But then you can see number 2 is AL.com, which is a website that's really just about Alabama news. But what do you think? Do these guys have any business ranking for a very lucrative keyword for best online new casinos? Let's pop them in the Ahrefs, and you can see here they have a DR of 84, which is very high domain authority. They have a ton of backlinks going to their website, 46,000 referring domains, 2.3 million backlinks. And it looks like the site's getting about 1.4 million monthly traffic. Let's go look at some other keywords in Ahrefs Keywords Explorer real quick. Right here is best CBD gummies. Scrolling down, you can see on page 1, the DR of all these websites is quite high. 94, 92, 69, 61, 94, 92, 74. And then we have one here for 43, which is a lot lower than the others, and then 70. It's also worth noting that these number 1 and number 2, Forbes and Healthline, have nothing to do with CBD really. What do they really know about CBD? I don't really know. Number 3 here has a lower DR, but it looks like their website, Cornbread Hemp, is actually more about CBD type stuff. Number 5, CBD.market. Of course, this entire website is about CBD, so we would think they're more of experts on CBD, but still they're ranking below Forbes and Healthline. Then we have Forbes and Healthline ranking again down here. Then we have 2 CBD websites here with 74 and 43, and another one, number 10, is also a CBD website. Now I'm going to go check this keyword on Google real quick, and let's go ahead and go to page 2. You can see on page 2 what we're going to start noticing is that you're going to start seeing lower authority websites in here. Number 195, Reddit. We're not going to count Reddit. We've got a 70, 85, still quite high. Now we have an 18. This one is lower than pretty much everything else we've seen so far. 86, 91, 51, another one that's getting a little bit lower. 7, a lot lower. Let's go to page 3. 33, 23, 91, 92, 79, 73. And we got some others as well, but it looks like some of these aren't even really targeting just best CBD gummies. They're targeting a bunch of other stuff as well. But the point being, when you get to page 1, it's these high authority monsters that are outranking stuff. Even if it's just a very general site, because they have this high backlink authority, they're going to outrank you. And you can squeeze in, it looks like, if you are a little bit more specialized, but you're still not going to take those top spots quite yet. Let's look up another one, best mattress, keyword difficulty 58, hard. And you can see a bunch of very high DR sites right here on page 1, except for this one that's very low, DR8, and they have an exact match domain, bestmattress.net. So anyone who says exact match domains aren't powerful, here's your proof that they are. And I'm not going to go through any more examples of this, but if you want, I encourage you to go onto Google or go into Ahrefs or whatever tool that you use and just look this stuff up for yourself. It's very easy to see these high authority websites just dominating everything. And in fact, since I started SEO, this trend has just continued. So I started SEO about 10 years ago. That's somewhere that's not really on this graph right here. However, you can see Forbes, of course, didn't have that much traffic. And then over time, they've just grown and grown and grown and grown and grown and got more and more and more traffic, right? And what I've seen in my time in SEO is just that it's industry after industry, keyword after keyword. Things have changed during these core updates where one day you're ranking for some keywords and then one day a core update hits and you're not ranking. So you say, oh, did I do something wrong? Do I have a penalty? And the answer was no, you don't actually have a penalty. But when you go and look at the SERP, you have these more general sites that aren't as specialized as your website, but because they have this high backlink authority, they're just starting to beat you now. And like I said, for the entire time that I've been doing SEO, this has just continued. It's got harder and harder and harder for the little guy because of course backlinks cost a lot of money, right? But it's not all horrible. I saw this cool video by Authority Hacker over here on YouTube recently. And one of the things they talk about in this video is how actually a lot of these larger sites are starting to lose for the first time in forever, really, against smaller publishers who have a more specialized website. So if your website was just about CBD, you would now have a better chance of outranking these more general competitors that aren't specialized about just CBD. Maybe they post about everything like Forbes does. And this is really the first time in my history of doing SEO that I've seen things starting to go in the reverse direction, which I'm actually really proud of. Even if I have a link building agency, I'm still happy to see this. Of course, sites like this one we are starting to see recover after Google's helpful content update and March core update. But we still also have websites like this one, which are still losing despite having very good content and just being a smaller publisher. It seems to be their only crime, right? They're a smaller publisher. They don't have the backlink authority of Forbes. And so they tend to get in trouble for stuff that Forbes does not get in trouble for. So one thing that Mark mentions is that it seems to be industry specific. So here he mentions supplements and headphones are starting to beat out these larger general sites. And just like I was talking about before, when these core updates would roll out, it seemed like it would target one industry at a time. And then that industry was just harder to rank in overall. And Google would prefer higher authority for it. But again, it looks like we're doing the same thing in reverse, industry by industry, requiring less authority and starting to prefer a little bit, at least, these more niche down websites that are more specific to the topic they're talking about. He also talks about this interview with Danny Sullivan of Google, of course, and people were very angry with this interview because he just said a bunch of cliche stuff that no one wants to hear and wasn't really helpful to anybody. But I think it's important to note that multiple times throughout the interview, he mentioned that they are trying to get things right. They are trying to help small publishers, which is not something they've really ever said before. So the fact that they're actually saying this, I think is kind of a big deal. I wouldn't necessarily hold your breath, but I think that they are maybe trying to move in the right direction. And as evidenced by this recent data that we were just looking at before, yeah, maybe they're actually doing this. Another thing that's kind of unrelated, but really cool thing that I saw in this video was that there was a study and they said that if there's not much interest in your brand, but you have a lot of backlinks, then your rankings might not actually do too well. You might actually lose some rankings. However, if you also have a large brand presence, people are searching for your brand, you're kind of on all these other platforms other than just your own website. People are talking about you on other websites, all this kind of stuff. If you have a high brand presence and high backlinks, then these things two together are still extremely powerful. And here's some numbers here, and it's basically using a new Moz score, I believe, which is called brand authority. Maybe this will be what actually gets people moving back to using Moz again, who knows? So even though it does look like this ranking factor, which is backlinks, is getting scaled back a little bit in some niches and verticals, this could take a really long time, and we don't really know how far back they're going to go with this. So in the meantime, we need to know how we can build backlink authority, as well as some other things that we can try to do to circumvent the need for high backlink authority on our website. So here's what you can be doing. First of all, you could be doing link building yourself. What you want to stay away from is stuff like this. I made this video on my channel, Increase Your Ahrefs DR Fast. Increasing your Ahrefs DR does not help increase your rankings on Google. Google and Ahrefs are separate companies. Just because you're able to trick Ahrefs does not mean you will trick Google. You can watch this video on my channel for more information, but essentially you need to do things the old-fashioned way. You need to build quality backlinks over time, and this is how you're actually going to increase your backlink authority in Google's eyes, not Ahrefs' eyes, and rank higher. And while we're over here on my channel, go ahead and give the video a like and give my channel a sub if you're enjoying the content. So how do you build your backlink authority the good old-fashioned way? First of all, you want to make sure that you're starting with stuff like foundational backlinks. This could be stuff like social profiles, citations, Web 2.0s, press releases, forum comments, blog comments. They're all stuff that anyone can go and make for pretty much free. It just takes a little bit of time to do. After that, you want to graduate to using guest posts, niche edits, and stuff like Haro. Guest posts and niche edits, of course, are outreach-based backlinks, meaning you're going to be sending a lot of emails to websites, seeing if you can get them put a guest post article on their site or a link insertion on their site. And Haro, of course, is a platform. They are over here at connectively.us now, and then you can pitch journalist quotes to be included in the articles. When they include you in the article, they'll cite your website. A ton more information on all these kind of link building things in other videos on my channel, so definitely watch those. We can't really cover everything in this video. So you've done your foundational links, maybe you've done some guest posts, some niche edits in Haro. Another option is digital PR. Digital PR, I'm saying this one last because it is a lot more expensive than these other types of backlinks. And so in a lot of people's cases, I really recommend just sticking to these three until your website's actually making money or your business is making money, and then you can really afford these much more expensive digital PR campaigns, which are usually around $5,000 per campaign. Option number 2 is to target less competitive keywords, but remember, this only works until a competitor with higher authority than you decides to move in and take those keywords away from you. So back to Keywords Explorer over here. Instead of best mattresses, maybe we want to rank for best mattresses for kids. You can see that the keyword difficulty here for this one is a lot lower than just best mattresses. Keyword difficulty is 16. Scrolling down, we can see that there are some lower authority sites in here at DR 33, 38. A lot of these are quite high too as well though. But you could search around and just look for some longer tail keywords with lower search volumes generally and lower competition. Again, tons more info than that in my channel. Number 3, you could use an EMD or an exact match domain, which we just saw earlier. When we search for best mattress, the number 5 ranker for best mattress right here only had a DR of 8 compared to everyone else on the front page, which was pretty much DR 80 plus or 90 plus, which is insane to see, right? Super low authority sneaking in here because they have an EMD keyword exactly in the domain right there. If we search for something like Miami SEO, you can see scrolling down here, we got Miami SEM. SEM is pretty much the same thing as SEO, ranking number 1. The Miami SEO company, again, keyword in the domain number 2, or number 3, sorry. And if you search around for a bunch of other keywords, you'll see it in there as well. One thing to note about EMDs is they don't necessarily work on all SERPs. So actually, a lot of the time, you don't see them as much in affiliate keywords anymore, even though we did just see them for an affiliate keyword for best mattress. So it's not always guaranteed that's going to work. And you tend to see a lot of these more now in local SEO SERPs like SEO Miami that we were just looking at. Next up, you could do Parasite SEO. Parasite SEO is pretty much what we were talking about with Forbes, right? You're going to pay some money to someone who has a very large website, and they're going to allow you to post content on their website, kind of like a guest post, except the purpose of a Parasite SEO post is not to get a backlink to your own website. You're usually going to put an affiliate link or a link to whatever your offer is in that Parasite SEO article, or just whatever you want to drive them to traffic to in that article. And you can rank for it very quickly because you're taking advantage of the websites with this very high domain authority. So like I was just talking about, you can pay for this. So it might be $400 a post or even more, might even be like $1,000 a post, depending on the website, whatever they're going to charge you. You have to actually reach out to them and try to negotiate. Or you could do what Forbes is doing and you could strike up a partnership with somebody. And how that works is someone basically approached Forbes and they said, hey guys, you have a very high domain authority. We know how to do SEO and make a ton of money with affiliate marketing. Why don't you let us take control of some subfolders on your website or start posting content on your website and we can split the revenue 50-50. But yeah, depending on your business model, this might not be exactly viable, but Parasite SEO is definitely alive and well. Even though Google did release the Parasite SEO update, and a lot of these ones that they kind of caught doing Parasite SEO got slapped down, they got penalties. But basically because Google still loves domain authority so much, those old Parasite websites just died and then new Parasites rose up to take their place because there had to be someone else with high authority that was also willing to post the same content and make some money in the short term before they get slapped down again, right? I've also got access to this Parasite SEO tool that a couple of friends of mine created and you might want to check out as well. I actually haven't really tested this much myself because I don't do much Parasite SEO. Let's go ahead and search for something like best CBD gummies. You can see here it talks about the Parasite score. It gives you some other information like the SERP overview. It gives you some Parasite opportunities, websites that you can actually link out to and try to get articles posted on these websites. They do have free and paid options here as well. So this basically makes Parasite SEO super easy for you. Again, I haven't tried this out myself. I don't do much Parasite SEO, but I'll go ahead and leave a link in the description of this video and you guys can check it out if you want to. Next up, you can use free parasites like LinkedIn, Reddit, Quora, and Medium. You can post content on these websites and then drive the traffic back to your website or wherever you're trying to drive traffic to. And because these websites have very high authority and it doesn't cost anything to post on them, and they actually rank really well on Google very quickly, yeah, it just kind of bypasses the process of needing a bunch of backlink authority, right? So we come over here, and if you type in sexiest SEO in the world, you'll see me right here. Of course, Chris Giges is the sexiest SEO in the world. You can see number 1 ranking is a LinkedIn Pulse article. Number 2 is a Medium article. Number 3 and 4, we got Matt Diggity here. And then number 4, we have an article on the So Links a Lot website. We've got a YouTube video here, which is another option we're going to be talking about here in just a minute. But yeah, you can see I was pretty much able to grab this keyword because I just wrote a couple articles on parasites as well as posting on social media and some other stuff. And yeah, just ranked really easily for it and got featured snippets and all the good stuff. Also ranking number 1 in images over here as well. I'm actually ranking number 1 for better stuff too as well. Just sexiest SEO, I'm number 1, right? Sexiest SEO on the planet, also number 1. Sexiest SEO in the universe, also number 1. So just dominating the world for sexy SEO right now. Of course, those were easier keywords, but you can still use this stuff for pretty much anything. We'll say that LinkedIn usually is better for kind of business related type stuff. Reddit, you can kind of do anything on Reddit. However, you have to be careful because a lot of Redditors will try to ban you if they think you're just promoting stuff. So be careful with Reddit. Quora is definitely a little bit easier, but doesn't rank as good as Reddit. I still like using Medium quite a lot as well because you can post these big articles and no one's really going to hit you or like ban you or something for doing this. Or at least I haven't had any trouble doing it. Next up is YouTube. You can create YouTube videos and try to rank on Google SERP. Back to sexiest SEO in the world, scrolling down here, we can see the number 5 was this YouTube video that I've got right here. So you can actually rank on Google with YouTube videos. And because YouTube has a DR of 99, these things can rank quite quickly. And a lot of the times you can rank on Google within just 1 or 2 days. It doesn't always work. It kind of just depends on the keyword. Let's search for another keyword niche edit. So we're scrolling down and we can see that right here in this pack, we've got 3 videos. So if I saw this, I would know that a video could rank in here very easily. But then some keywords don't show videos at all. And it might be a little bit harder to get a video to show up in those SERPs. It's kind of hit or miss. And of course, aside from just using YouTube to rank on Google, you're also getting traffic from YouTube, right? I'm not going to cover these other ones as much. Social media, email marketing, and PPC, it's the same exact thing. You're basically getting traffic from somewhere else because it's easier to get traffic from them if you're going after these bigger keywords, because it might take you a really long time to build this backlink authority to compete for these high competition keywords, right? So really YouTube is part of this as well. But yeah, you can get traffic from other sources than just Google. If all of your stuff is very high competition, it might be a lot easier for you to go this way and not do SEO. And then, of course, the option that no one likes is to sit and wait. You know, maybe we sit and wait and Google will continue to reverse this process that they've kept up over the years. The process of requiring more and more and more backlink authority over time and letting Forbes just dominate everything. Maybe they will continue to roll this back and actually try to benefit small publishers. And I hope that they do. I really do. But this is definitely not a strategy I would be pursuing. Of course, I'm a link builder, so I like building my own links. But not everyone's going to have the budget for significant backlink campaigns. So in most people's cases, they're either targeting less competitive keywords, they're doing Parasite SEO, they're posting on free parasites, stuff like Reddit, or they're going one of these other routes. All right, guys, that's pretty much it for now. Backlinks are still by far the number 1 ranking factor in my opinion. Of course, if you're doing all your beginner SEO stuff correctly. But we're starting to see a little bit of shift, and that's good news in my opinion. Go ahead and give the video a like and give my channel a sub if you're enjoying the content, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.